Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are watching Uncut with KJH, a unedited video concept series where the videos are unedited so you get to see the good, the bad, and everything in between. I'm a celebrity makeup artist and I am so excited to share with you how to make the most of a metallic eyeshadow, and all you need is a makeup setting spray. Truly. I'm not a primer person. I will preface that with this. I've never really found primers to be so helpful to me. I actually find them to hinder me a little bit more than help me. And I think that is because sometimes primers create too much of a sticky surface and therefore make my eyeshadow stick too much, and then I can't blend it. I might be on my own here. I'm sure I'm not, but if you have what I really meant by what I just started to say was, if you are a primer person, it doesn't make it wrong. If it works for you, it's right. If you like it, it's right. It really, truly is very, very, very much preference. I just particularly don't find them helpful to me. So I have this eyeshadow palette from Nabla. It's called Secret Palette. I'm not sure if you can still get it. Maybe, maybe not. This is this shadow, and I'm going to use it on one eye completely dry, and on the other eye, I'm going to use it with a wet brush, and then I'm going to match them up. Because I just want to show you the difference that a wet brush will create on a dry powder that has shimmer in it than a dry brush will. And I'm going to use the exact same brush for both sides, just so that it gives it a fair chance. This is the 11 KJH Spectrum. And I'm just going to go straight on. There's nothing on my skin. I just cleansed because I did another video earlier. And I'm just going to start with that hypersensual color and just press it on. There's nothing wrong with this amount of product, by the way. This amount of product is lovely if that's all that you want and that's the look that you're going for. You might be going for just this. However, with my other brush, I'm going to spray it with Fix Plus, which is a setting spray from MAC, on both sides. I'm going to use the palm of my hand to make sure that the wetness is evenly distributed. And then I'm going to pick up that eyeshadow. I'm just going to go to one corner or one side of the palette just so that I'm sort of keeping half of it perfect. There is a bit of an opinion that water can mess with the way that your eyeshadows are and the way that they apply. So I just think that's something to be aware of. And that's why I stick to one side. Scotch tape, I believe, or sellotape, takes off that layer that kind of gets hard from it being made wet. So I've got a bit of product in my brush. And now I'm going to just press on the same exact shade on the other side with the wet brush. And now it's going on obviously differently. As you can see, there's a little bit less payoff than there is on this side. Now I'm just going to build it a little bit more. I'm a big fan of building things gradually as opposed to putting on like loads of product all at once and then fighting to build it. I'm using my wet brush still. I'm going straight back to the eyeshadow and just building more. And obviously as I'm applying it, the water is kind of coming out because I'm soaking it up with water, with the powder. So it's getting a little bit more opaque as I build because the water is kind of dissipating a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. This is just the dry brush. So you're the judge here of what you prefer. There's no right or wrong. This is without water. This is with water. I'm a big fan of mixing mediums in makeup. And you will see a lot of that when I create a brand someday. A lot of things that help you to make your products malleable. I'm going in now to match up with the water side of the brushes and really packing it on because I just like a little bit more coverage and payoff in my eyeshadow. All right, now that's done. I'm going to finish the rest of the makeup. You can totally do this with other colors, and I actually also find this super easy to do with products that are even darker than this. You don't have to just do this with light colors. I'm going to keep the rest of the video simple and just almost show you some hack-based tips and tricks. I've got a lipstick here. This is Marsala from Ilia. It's one of my favorite lipsticks. I'm just going to put that on my cheek. Next to it on my cheek, I'm going to use Kosas concealer, and I'm going to mix those two together on my cheek. And I'm honestly checking my fingers. I'm just going to use my fingertips, and I'm just going to create these two little sort of custom colors on my cheeks with a little bit of blush, lipstick. That was supposed to be air quotes, but I missed. A little bit of lipstick and a little bit of concealer for a blush effect. And now that I've got like a little bit of like lubricants, if you like, from the concealer and the texture of the concealer, I can just add a little bit more of this lipstick. These lipsticks from Ilia are quite dense, which is why I probably love them so much, because they're just easy to create many things with. They're almost like a cream stick. And I'm actually gonna stop about there. This is not finished. Please do not judge my blush application. I am not complete. I'm gonna now just take this brush and just sort of blend over a little just to soften it, because the brush is bigger than my fingers, obviously. And then I'm actually going to go and wipe this brush completely, because I want to use it again, but I want to use it in a different area of my face, and I don't want that pink that's in the brush that I just picked up with my cheek, on my cheek area, to transfer. So now I've just like wiped all the excess off. If you don't have my towel from my kit with Spectrum, you can totally use any other towel. And I'm just going to use some of this concealer Neat. It might not be my exact shade, but it's fine. It's called 3.5W. I typically don't love a W on myself. I like a neutral undertone. I also don't really care too much about undertones on myself. I do on other people, but for me, undertones, because I wear products quite sheer and I spread them very thin, unless I wear something super full coverage and super opaque, I don't really bother about undertones and what color it is, as long as the shade matches my skin tone somewhat, because you're shearing it out and it's just going to leave a hue. If it's like very different to my neck, I would be bothered, but if it's not, I'm not bothered. And I think also like the whole warm, cool, neutral undertone matters a lot if your complexion changes throughout the year. Well, as it does change throughout the year, but I don't know. It's a complicated topic, because it's hard to educate somebody what their undertone is, I think. Or at least I find it hard to educate to people what their undertone is. I'm putting on a little Marsala on my lip. Don't know why I looked at the name again, because I think we already knew what it was. And I'm just applying it in that one spot for now. And then I'm going to take my number 13 brush from Spectrum, and I'm just going to smear it into a blurry shape. I like to apply lipstick and smudge it in. Really helps to kind of, it's such a pretty color. It helps to sort of like make it last longer, because you're smudging it, creating a stain and like a longer lasting kind of thing. And I'm going to use a little bit of Pout by Era Perez. I really like this pencil at the moment. Just a little bit of a fuller looking lip at the corners. Under there too. Nice, I like that combo. I'm going to be traveling with that for sure. And I think I want to keep it simple. I might just do a touch of a liner. One of my favorite liners is this one. Ooh, my white balance just went funny. I think I just went really warm. Okay, good, there we are. This is one of my favorite liners. It is from Vive, and it's just great at creating a tiny little sort of baby wing. I use my nail to sort of just like lift it a touch. Just a small little lash enhancer. When I'm doing teeny tiny wings, I kind of do close my eyes. When I'm doing big wings, I don't close my eyes. Because tiny wings, I don't really mind so much where they fall. I also don't mind if they're perfect or not. On myself, at least. Oh my gosh, there's a movie coming out. The Magic Mike 2, the new Magic Mike. I just watched the trailer. Looks very good. A little bit of mascara. For all my scousers out there. That's what they talk like in Liverpool. Half my family sound like that. I love it. It's my favourite accent in the world. And I bet you any money people out there are going, you sound Scottish? No. That's Scottish. Different. Scottish sounds like that. And that might be terrible. So I'm very sorry if it is. But Scouse I can do all day long. Alright, so more mascara, the merrier, in my opinion. I've got some weird gap in my lash at the moment. I don't really know why. I'm probably going to start filling it in with lashes for a minute. But yeah, that's really it. Just a little hack with a few other little makeup tips and tricks in there. I really truly hope that you're enjoying these uncut videos. They were really born out of a place of craving to create content on YouTube, but not feeling like I had the bandwidth to be able to do it. Tarek is actually a video editor, but doesn't really have the time to work on it with me currently. So nor have we ever really like worked together in that capacity. He is a much more sort of qualified person than what I feel like I need to create my content. He's worked on like documentaries and things like that, so he would probably create more precision and more pristine quality than what I care to have. And because my content is very much like in the moment as I'm sort of doing it, I like it to also be edited that way. So my sort of timelines don't really work with the time that it would take him to edit something for me, if that makes any sense. And also it's good to have our own little things that are each of our own things. But he definitely does help me in ways like on social, like when I wanted to figure out how to upload videos to YouTube without lessening the resolution. He figured it out in about 15 seconds. So that's about it. Just easy, soft little wash of gold on the eye. Try the trick of wetting the brush. This shouldn't really crease, and even if it did, I literally just skim any little bits of, you know, extra that sort of is gathering in the crease away. I also do not ever pretty much put eye cream on my lids before I do makeup, because that is a recipe for creasing. Same goes for like too much shiny, greasy concealer. It will move if there's too many textures. Unless you're very, very dry and you need those things, you should definitely try a bit of a process of elimination if things are moving and creasing. Just veto a couple of things in your routine and just gradually reintroduce them. I hope this was helpful. I really, really hope that you learned something, and I also really hope that you put any of these tips to the test on yourself, because that truly is the only way that you'll actually learn. Them is when you figure it out on yourself for yourself. So thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.